吹背号28号。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. It's the trade and signing deadline here in the Plus League Season 3. Just a couple hours for a miraculous last-minute trade or time to get a rush order on that paperwork. But on the basketball side, it's the Formosa Taishin Dreamers in Pauian to take on the home Pauian Pilots. I'm Ryan Chen, your English play-by-play on a solo broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. Entering week 20 of the season, the Kings already have 20 wins on the top of the table. The Briefs keep second place by going 1-1 last week. The Pilots had last week off and missed this stretch of only going 1-5. Meanwhile, the Dreamers lead the Lioneers by only a half game after last Saturday, then being blown out by the Kings. The Lioneers took down the Steelers at the same day, and the Steelers, without Jeremy Lin, went a 1-1 on a tough home back-to-back. On the Mandarin broadcast, it's Aaron on the left, Yang Zhenlei, and Eddie on the right. It's 张耀宗球迷朋友们，你找到了 Plus League 官方的英文讲评喽。要听到郑磊跟耀宗的讲评，当然就按到中文的转播连接。谢谢你的收看，记得我们的转播离开前先按个赞。But if you want to stay and leave a like, that'd be much appreciated as well. Well, the Pauian Pilots seem to have a little bit of a problem with the left side of their basket. In the first half, averaging 45.4 points per game. I think this is points allowed. And then the opponent's only 35.8 points. And the road team of 79 points per game is the lowest among the Plus League. But there certainly is a little bit of a mystery as to the imbalance of scoring on either side of the basketball court here in Pauian, and it's something to look out for. In particular, their last game against the Kaohsiung 1-7 Live Steelers, where the Pilots set a low-scoring half, and then the Steelers set a low-scoring individual quarter in terms of scoring. But we'll try to forget about that and move on to maybe a little bit more fireworks at hand. Still needs to be said, this is one of the slowest scoring
队友讲说他们都觉得说很难投，可是我自己个人觉得就是还好，因为篮筐对我来讲就是他就不会动，他就在那边，你就是只是把球投进或不进这样而已。我们就汲取上一场的教训，就是在这10天，我们就在练球方面就防守和进攻的强度都有拉起来和提升，因为毕竟我们很少会有这种比赛，这种比数，因为毕竟我们上半年的比数通常都是差不多第3节5分钟的时候就差不多有这个分数，可是我们为什么会这么低迷？可能在防守上和进攻上不是说很流畅的时候，会导致我们得分宕机啊，防守就是漏洞这种东西。然后在练球的时候，大家就不断的去互相打气加油来，互相提醒，让这防守啊、强度啊，还是进攻的流畅度越来越好。对。
That is IL Sijingyao, team captain of the Pilots, saying that the basket doesn't matter to him. It doesn't move after all, but they practiced a lot harder in this last week. It was indeed very odd scoring in the match against the Steelers, but the mood in camp has been good and they want to push each other as they head to the last third of the season. On the other side, for the Dreamers, recently they had to make a choice of choosing 3 out of their 4 imports to register for the rest of the season. Gilbeck provides maybe that interior defense with a full pointer, overall defense. Elkin Karaman there on the second to right, supporting in 19 points per game in a supportive role, and Chris McCullough, only 16 points in his debut, kind of getting the label of #1 scoring option as his talents would indicate from his previous career and of course his stint with the Kings last year. Number 5, Chris McCullough in the active roster for this afternoon's game. This is the last game he played as a professional, as he suffered a pretty serious ACL injury.
今天 Cruz 的部分就是正常发挥就好，然后去找到最属于就是剩下比赛，然后可以除了在自己的能力的上面，自己老外的外援的能力的表现发挥以外，然后帮到每一个本土的球员，我相信这才是每一个球团跟我们梦想家球团最想要看到外援来加入到台湾，然后加入到球队的最大的功用，而不是用一场比赛去决定他到底是留还是走，因为他们的能力就是摆在那里。那我觉得主要是找到这些最好的化学效应。季中因为朱总的一些家庭的因素，然后我们换了总教练柏林，那所以后面的慢慢的工作跟角色会比较像是，就是用之前自己在球场上的一些经验，然后跟一些不管是因为有打过一些国家队，然后带过很多球队，每个教练的一些分享的经验，然后再慢慢的在球场上跟柏林多做讨论，然后怎么样帮助这支球队，然后继续的成长，然后分享这些以前在球场上的一些经验。
That's Lance Tensinian, who led the Plus League Rising Stars during the interleague competition this recent summer, but a former Dreamer as a player, now as an assistant coach, commented on the import selection. It's more so about their talents than a one-game performance. And then last sharing that his role on the team is to bring his perspective and experience to the coaching staff. And head coach Eric Lai Boling lead the organization and the team. On the season, these two teams are 2-2. Dreamers, Pilots, Dreamers, the teams that were able to notch the win. And interestingly enough, it's only the home team who has won on the series. The only other series that is progressed in that matter is the Braves versus Lioneers in 5 games played this season. There is a total of 8 head-to-head matchups. Zhang Liyue will be the crew chief of this afternoon's staff here in Taoyuan. As we bring you the starting lineups from left to right, it's Chris McCullough, Brandon Gilbeck, Jeff Wu Young-sun, Aji Ling Junqi, and Kenny Chen. And on the pilot side, it's familiar looks Si Jinyao, Ken Lingzhen, Justin Lu Junxiang, Sunny Sakakini. And the last man of the starting lineup is Chen Yurui. 0-0. It is game 80 in the Plus League, which exactly marks 2/3 of the season, and that's the mark of the, as mentioned, trade deadline and a player signing deadline. And so during the game, we'll kind of start to break down some of the choices teams had made in terms of import selection. Trades are definitely not a big thing, certainly not in season, then that might be a future progression. Aji's getting his 5th start of the season, as you see Sir Dominique Pointer, who turned in a really inspirational almost performance with 6 blocks as the only import in a Dreamers game against the Kings previously. In the last game they chose Ilkan Karaman and Chris McCullough. Chris McCullough making his debut against his former team, as mentioned, in the New Taipei Kings. And the Dreamers have certainly, in a longer season, to be fair, have gone through more imports from season 1 to now the 3rd season in the Plus League. There's the whistle, and Gilbeck, and the Dreamers in white, will win the tip. Aji getting a step on Chen Yurui and commits the pushing foul. Though also frustrated with some of his teammates for the lack of movement. There you see left hand. A little bit of a embellishment by Taoyuan, but the referees confirm it is a offensive foul. But on the other side, Su Qingyao, spinning and twisting around, commits a travel. There's Kula trying to get some space against Sakakini. The only import on the floor for the Pilots. Kenny Chen lost the handles. They'll stay with the Dreamers. They have 2.7 left on the clock. Looking for Jeff Wu. Then quickly on the baseline, Kenny will go to the line. Su Qingyao calls for the foul from behind. Get another look. Number 23 will step up to the line. Kenny Chen had that knee injury in Kaohsiung a few months ago and has recently started 2 straight games. A long rebound right to Gilbeck. Another chance for the Dreamers. Jeff Wu will miss. The 1-point lead for the Dreamers. Su Qingyao. Tap pass. Now ball out of bounds. Now they've only played each other 4 times this season, but personnel-wise, these are 2 of the founding teams in the Plus League. So guys like Aji, Su Qingyao are very much engraved in the minds of the coaching staff. Lyle fires for 3, no good. Linton trying to get in front of Gilbeck as the pass is knocked away from behind. Su Qingyao will get credit for the steal. The Pilots had a rare bye week of no play last week, and the push shot, no good. Shooting woes continue for that left side basket. And he fakes the pass. Now is free for the shot. Another miss. Now last year, no team had weeks off after the Lunar New Year break, if you omit the week that everyone had off because of COVID-19 infections all around the league. Su Qingyao tries again and is again off the mark. He's the guy that I highlighted in this Dreamers matchup this season as someone to look for on the Pilot side. Aji finding a little room. Quick pass to Kenny, but it's a little bit wayward. He gets fouled on the drive to the basket. Ray from behind. This is his 5th start of the season, or 4th in a row. He only has played a maximum of 25.5 minutes, game 38 against the Steelers. One of those defensive specialists that Caminos is really like putting in a starting role. And that's been an emphasis for the Pilots this year, becoming the best home defensive team and overall best defensive team on the season. A 1-for-2 trip for the Dreamers once again. Sonny alone at the high post, getting a small screen as pass, almost errant. Now it's Gilbeck guarding. He'll try the step back, partially blocked. Gilbeck trying to create some space as the foul was called. As he was bumping with Chen or Ken. Now it's 3 team fouls for the Pilots in the early goings. They definitely want to play physical, but they also want to give their opponents a big free throw advantage. Aji trying to make moves. Over Gilbeck, doesn't see that corner shooter. It's usually tough turnaround. Wu gambled on that steal, leaving Jeff Wu open. Over on this side, Sunny trying to get away from Gilbeck as they kind of stick with that matchup with Wu Shang. Go with his 3, and McCullough, nice moves. Getting around one defender and finishing at the hoop. A 4-0 lead for the Dreamers. Pilots are 4-0 in day games. You can hardly tell from this first 4 minutes of play. Little handoff to Nakagini, but now. I don't know if he meant to go off backboard. Some momentum. Chris McCullough fires away from 3 and cans it. No momentum on the Pilots bench though. So that's the first made basket of the game as the Pilots trying to run a new offense now. No longer with 2 bigs at the top. Nakagini fakes Gilbeck in the air, now goes to the hoop. But can't finish through Chris McCullough. Aji running up ahead is Jeff Wu. 3 for 3. All out of bounds. The entire Dreamers bench jumped up. It looks like they will just go with a substitution now. Go way in for Gilbeck. Kenny Chen guarding Wu Shang tightly. There's a little bit of a bumping foul. Only the second by the Dreamers, but no points on the board. Caminas is going to get Jason Washburn in relatively early. And the first overall pick, Zhang Zhenya, will check in as well, trying to get more offense going. Foul down low, called by the slot side official on McCullough. Taishin Washburn is one of the leading scorers for the Pilots, but he often comes off the bench. Said in the interview that it's really what works, so the team buys in. So I don't think I should ask him right now. 7-0 start. We're blowing it at the rim. He had good performances recently, but has also missed his share of open shots. And Zhang Zhenya off target with that 3. Another chance for the Dreamers to run. McCullough couldn't quite handle the alley from Kenny Chen. Some sloppy basketball. Down to Sunny, fouled early. No free throws. Be our first stoppage of the game. And almost halfway through the first quarter, the Pilots have no points on the board in another lackluster start. We'll be going to break. Hopefully things kind of wake up here in Taoyuan. Welcome back to the broadcast. It's the Dreamers against the Pilots in a 7-0 start. We've already played 5.5 minutes of the game, but the Pilots have yet to get on the board. Where they were one of the better home teams in the league, but that is very quickly slipping away. And it's really hard to determine if it's on the offensive or defensive side, as most of the time basketball coaches will say, as long as we play better defense, the offense will come. No substitution for the Pilots, but the Dreamers bring in Chen. Jason Washburn with the easiest look. Well, that's a good way to get started with the scoring. Away in the free throw area, no good. It's a great start for number 26. Yao to Sakakini, who not quite on the same page as Sujin Yao. That was definitely one of those needless passes by their captain. So the Dreamers choosing to stick with Chris McCullough after only one game played, as mentioned, but let's see in. As Washburn erases that layup by Achi, Dreamers immediately reacting like it was a goaltend. It was a mismatch, but lack of movement everywhere by the Pilots. Now McCullough switches onto him, and they lose the opportunity, so it's Sakakini from close. No. Losing out better must be under some kind of hypnosis, because that basket has clearly been tough. And an odd offensive foul as Achi went to the floor. Maybe something that Derek Lidowe was up to. Substitution to get Xiaobai Ethan Bayalton in the game. Hopefully that'll get the Pilots much better organization on offense, as Sijinghao was directing them to nothing. With a reverse layup. Easily getting around Lidowe. Washburn averaging 21 points per game on the season. Would be leading the Pilots, and is leading the Pilots. A drop basketball. Zhang Zinyang leading the break. To Lu Junshan with the tough finish. Well, just like that, it's a 6-0 Pilots run. Shot on target. So Derway from left hand, then right hand. You give him a couple opportunities, maybe that's what it takes. Stopping a Pilot's run as Lu Junshan. Burrow his way into a foul by Chen. Get another look as Kenny Chen guessing the pass a little too late. Lu Junshan, not typically an alley-oop target. He'll step up to the line. The leading domestic scorer for the Pilots, averaging 17 points per game. A 78% free throw shooter coming into today. He only goes 1 for 2. Gilbert back in the game from close, but fading away. Lucky bounce to Doe. Aiden, fresh in the game. He rattles in the 3. Dreamers build it back up to a 5-point lead. Now a little bit more traditional continuity offense. The Sakakini will try to answer. Works down the other way. A nice give and relocate. Kenny Chen off target. Now, this stadium does play much brighter during the daytime because the natural lighting in the arena, or above the arena, I should say. Washburn, couple shot fakes and coughs it up. Off turnovers to start the game. Kenny maneuvering around the defense and with a tough right-handed finish. Pauian in some powdery purple sneakers. Sunny's quick turnaround. Thought he had contact. There were so many missed shots. Notably, there'll be a lot of offensive rebounds as number 13 drains that 3. Now the Dreamers a little high-low offense. Gilbeck hands off to Kenny. Got the switch going as Kenny puts it up. Dutifully by Alton. As the point guard goes, gets the basketball and casually starts the offense. Washburn patient the first time, then giving the second time. As Ethan finishes with the left hand. Little take foul in transition by Zhang Zhenya. They did have a foul to give. You see that initial pass is not there, but give it a little bit of time, especially when the defense respects the shooting on the outside. Aiden will load up. Different shooting motions than he had previously. A former pilot getting spun around until Pong Pong will fire from 3. What a beautiful rainbow by number 15. And just like that, the Pilots have the lead now. Derek trying his turnaround, and that one is good. Just gotta up the difficulty. Or maybe get him warmed up. Under a minute to go, Ethan with a little bit of space throws it into the hands of a waiting Jin Hao. All-handed advance up as Washburn another block shot. Not willing to wait. Ethan short with that 3 attempt. Second difference. Shot clock in the first quarter clock as Jian Hao throws it in early to Doe. Out to Jay Chen. Open look. Another bounce out and long rebound. And they get it up. They somehow keep it in bounds, but no last second heave. Shot attempt even. And so a 16-15 start and a predictable low-scoring first quarter. But we'll see how the rest of the game progresses after these messages. Welcome back to the broadcast. The Pilots crew just had their introductions as customary in the first quarter break, as looks like we have one of our line friends here in attendance. And that's a smart one, wearing sunglasses in this rather bright Taoyuan arena. Pauian given a lot of space by Doug Creighton. Closes it on the pass. A little misdirection as Ethan loses the handle on it. Another turnover, but recovers for a touch ball out of bounds. There's not a lot of rookies who are really up for the Rookie of the Year contest. So Bayalta got to be up there. Doug Creighton on the curl screen, on the curl shot. The special teams weekend is Sunyun Shitong. Pauian will try from three. The line drive is through. Sunyun Shitong is basically for the Pilots fans to voice their support. Sun is the word for sound. So pregame, Gilbeck doing the 3 times turnaround. So pregame, they were playing audio of Pilots fans giving audio shout outs and encouragements to the home team. Kind of needed after a week like that, or the previous week they had. A turnover on the pass is quickly Gilbeck kind of flying out of control there. Not clean on the catch. It's been a long season. He doesn't look quite as bouncy as he did through most of last year. Substitutions for both teams. Where the Dreamers bringing back McCullough and bringing in Jeff Wu for Chen. And on the Pilot side, Lunashan is back in the game. Little single import situation for both teams. Initially an opening, but an air ball by Pauian. Though, isn't an air ball if you touch that bottom of the net. I think our conclusion previously was no. Careful passing out of the ball screen. Now relocating to the right corner. The shot is up and he overshoots it. So the other way they go. Washburn around contact, but looks like they'll wave it off. Took an extra step, they said. So Caminos over on the Pilot side trying to argue for some contact. No look ourselves. 1, 2. Right foot is a little bit dragging. Hayden this time maneuvering around Jason Washburn's block. Tying things up at 18. Hayden is often chosen as the Dreamers starter. Coming over from the Pilots in a trade. In fact, 20 of the games. Started 5 and 5 off the bench before this afternoon. Pilots will get another opportunity. They blitz. Lu Junxiang goes behind the back, somehow hangs on, gets an opening, and Jason Washburn is right there to tap it in. Pom Pom cast regarding McCullough. Interesting choice. As McCullough, certainly when he's 100%, an excellent small forward who play inside and out. But maybe right now, trying to recover from that knee injury, maybe will size up, especially in the Dreamer system. Washburn through contact, gets the bounce. On the cross matchup, it's Ethan though, at the high post, as McCullough smartly maneuvers around, at least getting the foul out of that offensive possession. Another look at the fancy dribbling. It did touch Jeff Wu on the elbow. He had to recover it off his own glutes. And Jason Washburn ensured 2 points for the team in the pinstripes. I could say pinstripes, right? The orange jersey with the dark colored. Actually, if you look closely, it's double pinstripe. Though, of course, from afar, it just looks like one line. Still some more troubles from the free throw line. McCullough misses the first. And that one in and out. Dobleton in the game, but immediately commits a foul. Trying to check Washburn. Dobleton took last week off to nurse up some of those small injuries. He's back in there. But his fellow Yulong transfer in Ryan Lu Guanliang taking this game off as Ethan fakes the shot, now spinning around, and the slot side official calls the foul. I think the second on the Dreamers, playing mostly good defense there. Washburn spinning middle, and that's a forced shot there. Now McCullough, he'll fire from three short. Long rebound right to him as he's stopped by Pong Pong. He'll try from the corner, no problem. Through contact, gets it through on the bounce. Trying to get a little extra credit for that one as Hwang Han tried to play that smart and just has some thumbs up for the referees, as I did see an arm hook previously as Jeff Wu trying to stay connected. But the screen and the handoff was good enough. Even Doug got a hand in there. McCullough feeling it. A tap rebound to the Pilots, but number 5 kind of showing off what maybe Kenny Manigold or Sir Dominique can do with the safety play as Aji chased to a corner. A foul on the push. Now Sujingao's tough afternoon continues. He'll dry up the floor right around the timeline. A little bit more of an excuse me foul, but given that Chris would have fallen in the backcourt, it's one the ref has to call. Out to Aji, cross matched up by Washburn as the Pilots out of shape. Jeff Wu for 3, but it's playing. A little bit too much contact after, but the Dreamer will hang on in a fresh 14 on the shot clock. So Sakakini about to check in, as it's been a long stint for Washburn. I don't know if our score table is on page, but no, it's the referees who want to take another look at that out of bounds and the substitutions coming up. Well, as mentioned, this is the second lowest scoring series at 83.1 points per game. The lowest belongs to the Braves and Pilots at 82.9 points per game. So not a big difference, but of course, one of the same players involved in both series is the Pauian Pilots. Get another look at the out of bounds. Also wonder if it touched the basket too, which will affect the timing mechanism. Because if it hits the backboard and then it hits a pilot and goes out of bounds, the shot clock doesn't reset. So it is definitely a close call, something that the referees need to ponder over. And indeed, they deem no contact with the rim, but off of a pilot, so the Dreamers have to execute with 1 second left on the shot clock. So Taji, the dunk fading away. Would have been incredible, but kind of more or less just one of those, if you say organization football or soccer, one of those kicks to the corner to make the opponent start over again. Sakakini choosing his fadeaway shot. Butter. McCullough, fancy crossover, but pass poked out of bounds. Sakakini showing off the skills. Not had any explosive scoring performances, but a solid almost 16 points per game on 44% from the field. So he has opted not to shoot as many threes as he did early in the season. So Volta, beat not set, doesn't matter. Closes it to within a 3-point game. Given all day, he'll try, and it's good. Good answer by the rookie. He's not known for his range shooting, but maybe the accuracy is not what they respect, but he certainly has a little bit of range as long as he gets his shoulders and feet lined up. Achi quickly resets, and a beautiful drain three. Under 5 minutes to play. Being out-guarded by McCullough as they get the switch on to Sakakini from the left block. Quick spin move and powers his way to the cup. Trying to get McCullough ISO'd on Pong Pong. He chases the basket, crosses over, and fires. One thing the Dreamers are doing pretty decently, besides that one Lu Jingxiang fast break, is getting back early on defense. Maya opting not to shoot, but over to a center off to the right. Matchup, Chen with Sijiao guarding. With the right hook, shovels it through. Chen also one of those local bigs counted on for defense more than offensive production. Does score 3.3 points per game. Foul on the perimeter. Gilbeck and Washburn will check in for their respective teams. Lugersham early layup, but affected by Gilbeck. Kenny slicing through the defense over to Jeff Wu, but again short with it. The height advantage of Gilbeck creates a second opportunity for the Dreamers. Number 30 for Brandon Gilbeck in his second year with the Dreamers. Kind of runs into the sturdy Sakakini, though, taking it to the face. Squinting with both eyes, as might need a little bit of a recalibration right now. You see, hand on the basketball, and both players took contact. But the initial thing was clean. Of course, you want to clean that up as a referee, and it's not easy. Quickly Gilbeck to Aji on the handoff. Beautiful two-man game there. Looks like we're going to have a pretty close one in the first half as the awkward bounce of the basketball goes out of bounds. Xiaobai back to the inbounder, and that's the problems you'll have when you make a quick move like that. But that's what you get with working with an import with the same team for a couple seasons. You know what quick hitters they can go to. Shot goes up, and it's another made bucket for number 11. Defense laying off of him. Ray fresh in the game, squeezing between the defense, just getting it off to Ayao, who bounces out his 3 attempt. In this season series, Yao supposed to be a 35% three-point shooter, but right now it's a strong Dreamers run. Aji, another one to send us to our second quarter timeout, called by the Pilots. We'll be right back as the Dreamers catching a little fire here in the second. This timeout brought to you a third year with the Dreamers, shooting 39% from the outside. And after that quick inbounds hitter right here, has quickly brought up a Dreamers 6-point lead. The G so far has 12 points on the game, a perfect 4 for 4 shooting the 3-ball. So I was saying, in a season series, Yao will up his scoring average to 16 points per game against the Dreamers, only 10.5 in season 3. But right now, not great shooting rhythm, not great offensive rhythm. He's committed a couple fouls too, as Washburn tries to go with the big fundamentals, but no good with the hook. Around the Gilbeck screen. They got the switch. Mayao shows in, recovers to his man as Doboten left without any options. They avoid the foul, the pilots do, as Gilbeck heaves up a 3. And look who picks it up, number 88. There's a reaching fouler, Tony Ray. And again, the Dreamers have a few more offensive boards in the game. They have 8 to the Pilots 4. As you see Tony Ray coming over to help. And after a very quick stint on the bench, Ethan come back in for Sijinyao. Good help by Tony Ray, and Justin combining for the steal as Ethan stopped by Gilbeck. Almost an errant pass though, so the Pilots set up a half-court offense. High ball screen. Back to Washburn, who lets it go, and it was sideways. Still gets it through. I say sideways because I'm right behind that visitor's basket that came out of his hand sideways, flew sideways, spun sideways, but all that matters is 3 points down for the Pilots. McCullough hands off to Kenny. Challenging 2 imports and leaving the layup a little short. Not going for the 2-for-1. Ethan slowing things up. Picked off by McCullough. A little showtime and just a soft one-handed dunk. There's a rookie mistake for number 30. He's 3 for 3 and a shot off to the right as Washburn fouled by Gilbeck at the hoop. A little bit of frustration, but decent effort play as you see got out rebounded. A little bit of hands on the wrist and the A through B. I guess A to B, but it certainly looked A through B as you see Washburn had kind of whiplash forward there. Free throw to make it 4 points and another to make it 3-point deficit, as that is Gilbeck's only first foul of the game. Short with that one, and McCullough with a full court heave. Pretty good to put it on target, but that'll be the end of the first half, 39-35. In a contest of the third place and fourth place teams in the league. We'll be going to halftime. Take a break before I break things down in our intermission. or PLEAGUEofficial.com/shop. It's Aaron and Eddie on the Mandarin broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen here, taking care of you guys on the English side of the Plus League live stream this afternoon. There's the combined team statistics where the Dreamers have a 4-point lead over the Pilots. They're shooting the 3-ball at a much better clip thanks to Aji's 4 for 4, 12-point second quarter to help boost them to this lead. Meanwhile, the Pilots have shown improvement from their previous outings at home. They're currently in a little bit of a lull now, and before they take away the graphics, there's plenty of turnovers, plenty of steals, plenty of offensive rebounds to be had. So a lot of 50-50 balls out there that every single coach really wants for their team to come out victorious. It's Chris McCullough in his second game with the Dreamers. He has personally 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals, including a pick to go coast to coast. Well, the Dreamers are 4-11 this season on the road, which is 27%. Best among the 3 teams competing for that 4th and final playoff spot. The Lioneers 2-10, the Steelers 2-12, but both of those coming in the last 3 games. So we'll see if the Dreamers can make that work to their advantage and secure that 4th spot in the playoffs. So something that they want to work on, which at least on schedule, is they haven't held the team below 90 points since February 17th against the Pilots. And that actually happened 3 times this season, the most against any opponent. One thing that they do really well is allow only 45% from a 2-point range, which is the best. Meanwhile, the Pilots are on a little bit of a lull in their season. They have seen their offense go down to about 80 points per game after earlier in the season it was at 93 points per game when they were in fact competing for first place, and now they can still do that with a third of the season left. Defensively, they've seen a little bit of a slippage to 87 points per game, 83 points prior to this 5 losses in 6 game stretch. We'll get another break before individual scores coming up in a second. Welcome back to the broadcast. Tonight will be the new Taipei Kings taking on the Taipei Fubon Braves in Hoping Gymnasium for the last time this season. Relatively early, but that's kind of the product of the imbalanced home venue scheduling that kind of has gone around the league for different reasons and for different considerations. Now it's the leading scorers, starting with the Dreamers. Aji Linchunji, 12 points, as mentioned, all coming in that second quarter, followed by Chris McCullough, 9 points. Hayden Wu Jiajun knocked down a 3 and a layup, 5 points. Do Boten, the same thing, 5 points. And Kenny Chen getting a start on the game, has got 4 points. In his return from injury, he's been increasing his individual minutes played per game. And so looking to see that increase, but of course, Lin Chunji is the key man. And what you'll notice is a lot of these plays are typically very easy setups. That one's just a catch and shoot and a mismatch, but that first one on the out of bounds and a quick two-man game with Gilbeck. And the thing about Achi is he has very consistent accuracy from even a step away from the three-point line. Washburn with 12 points leads the Pilots, followed by Sonny, who's done his work down low. Ethan Biotin has got 5 points off the bench. Wu Junxiang started, only 5 points. Now Huang Han hit a three-pointer to get his name on the leading scorers. And Jason Washburn is the highlight man for the Pilots. He's started for only 2 games this season, 11 games coming off the bench. But as mentioned, the points per game for Jason Washburn is in fact leading the team at 20.8. And don't think he's just a 7-foot center. He also can knock down the three ball at 29% clip. So perhaps look out for that in the later part of the game. We'll be right back 3 minutes before the second half gets started. Welcome back inside Taoyuan Arena as we get a look at some of the fans and faces in the stands in attendance. As mentioned in the lead up, this is the trade deadline and player registration deadline day. And so looking across the league, some of the notable headlines from each team is the Braves are settled with their 3. It's going to be Michael Singletary, Igor Zaitsev, joined by Chris Johnson. And for the Kings, the notable thing is they need a 3rd import after parting ways with Austin Day. He'll be heading to an Italian club. So the word on their 3rd import, we're still waiting on. The Pilots are probably set with their 3, Jason Washburn, Sonny Sakakini, and Jeffrey Curtis Ayers. Meanwhile, the Lioneers actually made it known a day ahead that they were not going to register Tarico Wyatt, and Jeremy Tyler, after only 1 game played himself, will be the 3rd import as McCullough lines up a 3 and knocks it down. The Pilots choosing to sub in Jason Washburn as the starter for the 2nd half. Meanwhile, the Dreamers have their same starting 5 as the tip-off of the game. Lingzhen screening for Ayao, but it's Washburn who pops 3. Ball will just bounce out of bounds. Ken was giving chase. You see Gilbeck providing the screen, and that's the power of the big-to-big kind of screening action that can take place. And on the perimeter, it's more than just 2, it's a 3. And Gilbeck digging his head in, had that one stripped, but there was a whistle. Didn't even really look like he was going to go to attack. But it's a foul, as you see Ken Lingzhen reaching in there. Might have, shouldn't. There's a little conjecture, but anyways. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Aji calling for ball screen. He's doubled, so Kenny will fire from the right corner. Yes. And the Pilots will try to let the players on the court figure out. Meanwhile, the Dreamers choosing to go with Chris McCullough after only 1 game played, but Sir Dominique Pointer will be cheering on the team from the bench for as long as he's here. There you see the attack to the basket and foul. So Taoyuan will go to the line. The Pilots did not shoot many free throws in the 1st half. In fact, they're only 2 for 4. Taoyuan misses the first one. Only a 1 for 2 trip. Meanwhile, the Steelers just today, as they are known for, with a thank you social media post for Vyacheslav Kravtsov. Playing hard, but a little bit banged up. Gilbeck takes the handoff, now doubled, swirling, and missing a shot from close. And just announced today as well, Wendell Lewis, who last played in Portugal, will be the 3rd import. Not that the numberings matter, but the one we're least familiar with. Corner 3 by Taoyuan, all net. Meanwhile, too rough of a foul by Lingzhen, who needs to play a lot smarter than that. It's the Dreamers now with a 6-point lead. Aji now moving left. Will take the shot, and it's good. That man is way too deadly to go under on. He screams. Washburn spins through the handoff. Chen already hit one, but can't make it another. Bad miss there by the guard out of nearby. And TSU. One of those, excuse me, illegal screen, illegal handoff by Gilbeck as Chen went down rear side first to the floor. You see the slight turn, and that left Achilles also was out there too. I guess you should say more a heel than Achilles. Chen finding Jason Washburn, who can't. But he does get the whistle. Another look at the nice cross screen and leaving Washburn open. It is on Chris McCullough, his second personal. And now third Dreamers foul of the quarter. Keep an eye out on that. Washburn hits the first. Trying to be the first player of the game to have a perfect 2 for 2. He does. Hachi quickly in transition, but no. Gilbeck getting another opportunity. That one they say out of bounds. The two referees on that side are looks like have a little conference. No, they say it's going to stay with the Dreamers. McCullough crossing over left, but Linton guarding up to Gilbeck, who's touched from behind. No, they call it an offensive foul. That's definitely a tough one to take, but live boiling. Are we just going to bring in Doway? There you see little hands to the back and caught by the referees. Certainly can't be any Gilbeck contact with Siji now. Through contact with the right hand, lays it in. I haven't said his name too much on the game as there's another block by Washburn. Kenny on the reload will punish the defense, bringing the Dreamers up to 51 points. And after the handoff, will try his own three-pointer. Yes. Is also an improved three-point shooter himself on the season. 6 of 21 coming into this afternoon. Now in the tangled match with Doway. Here's the whistle as Linton. A little bit of tuition pay for getting locked up with Doway. There you see hand fighting, and both trying to play it clean while coming from a place of not playing it clean to start. Kenny working with Doway. He's got the mismatch on Justin. Baseline, block comes. Not quite a BLK, but they stop for the Pilots as they try to cut into this 5-point lead. Washburn zeros through contact and lays it in. Doway tried to take the charge, but that's the power of that lateral step to make. Of course, as introduced by Europeans and South Americans, like one Manu Ginobili, for example, a favorite of our colleagues, Dennis Ty. McCullough takes the contact and spins. The rebound bouncing around, eventually falling to the Pilots. They have numbers now. Little 3-on-3 as Ludrishang shot goes up, but it rattles out. A little bit of a break for the Dreamers now. McCullough around the defense. Fires it over to Kenny. Made one to the other corner. Overshoots that one. And now under 7 minutes in the third quarter, Pilots have a chance to tie it up. Over to Leighton. Nice handoff action as he goes baseline, but smacked out of bounds. A loud yell from Wu Junxiang, but it's still going to be Pilots ball with 2.8 in our first break of the second half. It's the Dreamers with a 3-point lead. Don't really see the Pilots crew really committing a roar as the theme camera here in Pauian. Well, what about the line bear? I need to pull up on the sleeves a little bit, but the Plus League and the Line in Taiwan have indeed a collaboration with Line Today and Line Boom. 谢谢。好的，谢谢大家的配合。As they try to get the last few fans involved, it's the Pilots out of the baseline with 6:22 left on the third quarter clock. Looking for Lu Junxiang, then right here on the middle, Ray over everything as the Dreamers now start a little bit of a break. McCullough, but the Pilots defense recovers. Just getting the screen by Doe. And another offensive foul and a turnover. A couple of missed opportunities right at the timeout as Jason Washburn couldn't finish through Doe, and they fell on the rebounding. That'll mean free throws coming up for the Pilots. So Doe did a great job with that initial defense, but then on the rebound, that little shove caught by the referee. Second personal foul on number 26, and they'll send a Washburn to the line once again. Washburn, another free throw made. Among the three imports that the Pilots have relatively speaking played fairly, Washburn does edge his fellow teammates out with about 30.5 minutes played per game. Ayers about 30 minutes. Sonny Sakakini about 29 minutes played per game. But Caminos did mention he loves to have his imports play less minutes, but play with a little bit more effort, urgency. As another offensive foul, but this one seems to be a little bit delayed. As Doe retreats first on defense, but probably a little bit in protest. And And Caminos with a word with Kenny is, again, is Doe and Lingzhen. And a little bit of a shoving match there, but the referee, the slot side, had his eyes on it the whole way. Washburn on the post. Out to Lingzhen. Made one earlier, short with this one. The 1-point lead, McCullough. Also Doe to screen, now goes against it. Now the step back. Washburn plays keep away for the rebound as the Pilots going with a little bit of pace. Wu Junxiang. They say he was hacked, and more free throws coming up for the Pilots. So all these offensive fouls count for turnovers, which they do. The Dreamers already have 4 on the quarter. And like we mentioned at halftime, some of the rebounds, the steals, turnovers, and the loose balls will be a real important part of the equation. Gilbeck a little bit late with the tap. So the ball drops through for the Pilots to take the lead back. And then a defensive foul this time, but the Pilots also have subs coming up, and they had a foul to give. It's Lingzhen quickly amassing 5 personal fouls. There you see an arm hooking match with Gilbeck. So out of the sideline, Gilbeck screens for Achi, who fires from way downtown. And Doe, look what I found with that rebound. They can't finish, so it's Gilbeck with the dream shake, and eventually a 3-second violation if you heard the PA. Takakini might not be very tall, but he's a very tough man to attack in the inside. Wu Junxiang had that one chased down, blocked by Gilbeck. Chance to run, they give too much space to Achi. And Gilbeck right there for the putback. Might have missed out on a number 11's 3, but center getting a 3-point play opportunity coming up. Right now, Gilbeck has got that hand one going, but body language not really delivering the "I'm having fun right now" body language. I think that'll help with a free throw. Now another foul on the perimeter. Haven't played a lot, but Zhang Zheyan will check back into the game.
Can he stand there?
Again, Wu Junxiang at the line. Making the first free throw. Last season coming off the bench for the most part and was able to notch the 6th man of the year. Wu Junxiang last year from the line, an 82% free throw shooter, scoring 15 points per game last season. Achi guarded by Xiaobai or Ethan with Doug and Derek with the double screen. The Help comes, leaving Chen open. Gilbeck again, fighting hard for some offensive rebounds. And the not very loud whistle eventually stops the play. The rhythm of the game certainly has slowed down. You can see the swipe by Taoyuan there. From Gilbeck to line, they sometimes call him Tapi or Big B. I think they use Tapi, the Mandarin, not necessarily Big B. I've never heard anyone call Gilbeck Big B. And it looked really solid from the free throw line. As Washburn will take a stint on the bench for Pom-Pom. In the series, though, Gilbeck is averaging 14.5 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks. He's the only import besides Taishin in this season series between these two teams to play every game. Another stop for the Dreamers, and they will go to line again. This time it's Achi who found a little bit of a crease. Well, for the Pilots, Sakakini averaging 16 points and about 11 rebounds in this season series. He continues to be the leading scorer for the Dreamers. And this is that first free throw. Their last game between these two teams was in Taizong, where the Dreamers eventually prevailed 86-81. At the time, the Dreamers were in fact 2 games back of the Lioneers, while the Pilots just ended a stretch of losing to the Braves twice, but beating the Lioneers 3 times in 5 games. And off Wu Junxiang, 3. But it looks like we have a foul. And in fact, a turnover too, as the Lu Junxiang checked Achi on his drive to the basket. Pretty easy call for the referee. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The interesting thing about that game was that was Ilkan Kalaman's debut, and as Gilbeck doubled down low, they call a foul. It's on Pong-Pong for shoving too hard in the back. Anyways, Kalaman's debut his first field goal, I should say, excuse me, his first field goal came at 5 minutes, 20 seconds left remaining in the game to give the Dreamers the lead, but baskets come in bunches. He also had a putback dunk off of a free throw. That set the stage for Jeff Pauian, who had 17 points to hit a huge 3 to seal the game with 24 seconds left. The Pilot side, they only got 58 between Wu Junxiang, Su Jinyao, and Sunny, but the rest of the team only 26% shooting from the field. After a couple free throws, the Dreamers have regained a 2-possession lead on the game. Yeah, back to Ethan. Over to Sunny, who tries from deep, and it's a swish. Sunny now with double-digit scoring. Fairway to Doug. Back to Fairway, who gets the lay-in. Help defense came just a little too late. Nice connection by two former Yuhong players. Doug pretty much playing with every SPL team. And Doe, a 10-year Yuhong Dino. The Dreamers seal off all the pilots' options. Ethan, Xu Jinyao, who takes the jumper. Not typically in his wheelhouse, so Ethan with the missed runner and another offensive board. Hayao calls the thumbs play. High ball screen, giving a little space, taking on Jay Chen for the missed shot. Doug creates a little bit of space for himself. Now has a mismatch. Doe spinning with speed. And then had that one partially blocked. Chance for the pilots to run. They can't get it down court. Ethan won't choose to take the shot. He'll slow it up. I learned 3 for 2 recently. They don't have that opportunity as Sonny took an awkward fall. Gilbeck gets the two-handed slammed on one end. Under a minute left in the third quarter. That makes it a 6-point lead for the Dreamers as a lot of rough play going on. Gilbeck taking a hard fall. And something seems to have peeved Sakakini on a previous possession. Though Creighton was the one who got the steal previously. Still on the hardwood right in front of me and the right side basket camera duo. Here you see the initial foul and a little bit of extra stuff. Well, no contact made, but certainly not exactly the friendliest of body movements after. Another made free throw brings his point total on the quarter to 4. Throw the free throw, ricochet rebound to Creighton. McCullough to Hayden. Dove, who smartly maneuvers. Getting it back in the right corner, lets it fly, and it's in. A scrambling play by the Dreamers. Extending on that lead. Sonny spinning around Jay Chen, and a splash from number 13. Keeping his team still in the fight. As they go into the fourth quarter, the fourth and final frame coming up. Pilots, Dreamers, the 6-point game. As a reminder, it's Amigo and the New Taipei Kings against Beast against the Taipei Fubon Braves coming up at 5 p.m. on a March 18th doubleheader plus league game day. Sakakini and Chris McCullough, the imports for their respective teams. Tanzania quick fire three as a rebound tipped out by Ethan and Sunny. They run their continuity offense. Going down to Sijingao to Sunny. Good patience, but halfway down and out with a shot. Little misdirection as Creighton frees up in the left corner. No problem. Number 21 getting going in the second half. Now with a couple of threes to his name. Typically a much better shooter, about 45. Tanzania tries to answer, but in and out. Chen almost forgot the basketball. It eventually recovers. Chen gets the switch, but they're looking for Doway. Winning baseline, they're running into a wall. The horn goes off, but they're going to say Pilots with an advantage. Sakakini able to turn around and score. Right now, the Pilots in particular trying to play with a lot more pace. Played a nice shoulder fake, but he misses the shot. Chance to slow it up. It's Aya and Pong Pong, original members of that Pilots first season team. Out, then lines up for three, well short, and look who's got the rebound. Pong Pong didn't have a good grip on the ball, but lets it bounce in softly. Tanzania trying to apply pressure on the shooter worthy of emulating. Way outside the double screen. Eventually they got the switch. Chris taking the pass, now going middle. Hand in his face, could not get it to go. They show help for Sakakini at Sijingao. Eventually to Ethan. And 3 seconds on number 13. Pretty cushy, as we say, unfortunate or kind of missed opportunity for Tanzania. Had a couple, 3 opportunities, had the difficult task of chasing around Doug. He'll get subbed out for Justin as Kenny Chen will check in as part of the backcourt, I suppose. It's kind of rare. And Kenny's gonna be more or less the 2 or 3 now. There's a foul by Ethan. Maybe a chance for the Pilots to make substitutions primarily. Aji on the handoff, takes a stumble. Now sizes up Pong Pong. Working left, faking, spinning back to the middle. Didn't quite get the shot. Still the leading scorer of the Dreamers, and it's not quite the leading scorer of the game. That belongs to Washburn, who screens for Justin. Flies through, getting the pass off, and Ethan can't bury the 3, but another chance for the Pilots. Two offensive boards as a missed push shot from close. neither team really giving into the floater mid-range game. Dug open, but choosing the pass as McCullough slicing through, with the leg and the stuff with the right hand. Again, one of those scrambling plays by the Dreamers that's really been working for them. Washburn on the post again. Nice through the middle, right-handed push, no. Down the fairway, but the help comes and takes an odd tumble. The referees just say out of bounds. As the Pilots call timeout. An awkward looking play, but both teams will have a little bit to get recovered and refocus for the rest of the matchup coming up. Another Pilots crew performance in the books. The home team is 4-0 in 2:30 tip-off times and 6-4 in their quote-unquote night games, either at 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. Their scoring, in fact, stays higher when the lights are still on. And by that, I mean daylights, as Chris McCullough shows off the hops. And that last play to send us to, I guess I should say, the previous score, to get us to 71-64. Let's see what the Pilots have in stores as we see some of the Dreamers family section cheer on their team. Sounds back in the game. Now to Washburn, who has it poked away. The Dreamers this year are choosing again a few more imports to rotate through the regular season. And they got the switch somewhere as Pella fires away and knocks down another deep shot. 10-point lead for the Dreamers. Ball bounce around to our cameraman right here. In the first season, they only had 3 the whole year. Of course, only a 24-game schedule. Last year, they had Ricky Lito for 1 game, Steph Hicks for 2, but it was Gilbeck, Boyd, Yankovic for the most part. This year, Gilbeck, as Kenny takes a tumble under 10 seconds. Turnover on the flipped ball. Gilbeck, of course, carryover from previous season. Sir Dominic Pointer played 15 games. Malcolm Miller, who was with them in the preseason, only played 5 games. Coleman, as we mentioned, has 7 games with the Dreamers. And then Chris McCullough for 1 game. We get to the other teams, we'll run that down. Ethan choosing not to shoot the layup, but it's Pauian. 1D. Pass. He got his hands on it and causes the loose ball. No. They whistle as Chris McCullough pulls up Wu Jingxiang. Pretty decent defensive effort, but getting tripped up there. But Chris McCullough will go to the bench for Gilbeck as the referee kind of needs to calm down the Pilots bench. He's arguing with the wrong referee. He didn't make the call. More or less a little bit of an unlucky call there, but understandable. Closing down Haji's space as they kick the ball around. Doe will try the three, but it's bounced out. Washburn slips the screen as Justin leaves it for him. And they foul with sliding feet. Get another look at the foul as you see Justin get his hands on it, but not in the wrong place at the wrong time, more or less. Doe, that the referee say is his fourth personal foul. As mentioned, Washburn's leading this game. Can't get it to 19 personal points. Now it's the Dreamers who call the timeout with a chance for their team to go on offense. On their game, they have 3 players scoring double digits and 8 players in total who've gotten on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, the Pilots also have 3 players scoring double digits. They also have 5 players also scoring. Well, the year of the Rabbit seems to be a little bit of a confusing stretch for the Pilots, who are now on the bottom row, 4 and 7, scoring 83.6 points per game, only on 7.7 made threes per game, whereas before, 95 points per game, only on 12 three-pointers made. Now looking up the actual shooting splits, their three-point shooting is only 22% in this most recent stretch, whereas it was 33 percentage points before. And naturally, your bench scoring will also take a dip from 41 points down to now 35 points per game in this most recent 5 losses in 6 games. Meanwhile, the Dreamers are themselves in a little bit of a stretch that's not going to be easy. They play the Kings 3 times in 4 games. The only other time that's happening with very condensed head-to-head matchups is the Lioneers versus Pilots, who played each other 3 times in 4 games, twice this season. They do have an upcoming 4-game homestand where, of course, in the 3rd year of the Plus League, every team's a little bit more competitive at home. After the timeout is Phil Wotan in for Doe. Pass the ball until now. Waiting for the Gilbeck handoff. Oh, a touch foul to the face. It's going to be the Pilots' 3rd team foul. 4th on Justin. 3 fouls, 2 balls. We call that as Jeff Wu calmly drills the three-pointer. Can't get the counter. And on the game, the Pilots now shooting only 9 for 20 at 9. Just about 30 percentage points. Anji trying to put on the dribbling moves against Pong Pong. Then fires, but it's an air ball. Cute show of frustration by Achi. Whereas Pong Pong making a face toward the Dreamers bench. It's really go time for the Pilots. Backdoor as Justin with a right-handed finger roll. Assist to Washburn. Looking across at these Dreamers, they are 15 of 39. Goes okay. Didn't go with the shot initially, then a bounce shot, but Washburn not at all aware of the basketball, overruns it. Pass by Lucian. Another chance for these Dreamers. The Dragon. Or the Dinosaur. He's the Dinosaur, excuse me. He also goes by Jerry in the Dreamers guide. Down to the right side and somehow off the window with the English. A stop and a score brings us to a 5-point game. Maji takes up the dribble. Not getting it back. Working with Gilbeck, slicing to the cup. He's hammered and finishes it anyways. This one, the Dreamers need a little something. It's always number 11 now with 18 points. He's in with a little bit of a growth screen. Balanced offense. 5 Pilots on the side. Washburn, who eventually will put up a shot, but will have to earn it from the line. Would have been good defense, but Gilbeck, a little bit too much pressure. You see Achi smartly maneuvering around and even getting it in and around Pong Pong's two-handed defense. There you see it's actually Washburn who created a little bit more of that contact, more so than anything. A little excuse me on the extra bounce of the basketball afterwards. Free throw wise, the Dreamers 8 for 13, and that miss means the Pilots are now 13 for 18. And 0 for 2. That's going to lead large. Justin couldn't cut the pass off, a nice feed as the Pilots can only foul Gilbeck. Well, that's the threat that Strange creates as Washburn had to get his hands in there. What's the advantage that or I guess the disadvantage, but advantage Pilots have now to send the Dreamers to the line if they want to freeze the clock for the rest of the way. Gilbeck can only go 1 for 2. He's got 10 points. It's Justin, Ethan, Washburn, Mayo, and Pong Pong for the Pilots. Nice lead as Washburn can't finish the first time. Taishin with it. Able to hang on to it as the Dreamers now sent to the scramble. Eventually they run out of time, not getting a shot up. Good stop by the Dreamers. As it looks like Coach Caminos is going to get teed up for arguing a little bit of contact that was happening on the Pilot side. And really not settling down much after the tee. That's the replay of the technical foul, as now he's having an argument with the crew chief. That's certainly not helping his team. Down by 8. And Aji not getting the bounce though, so maybe it doesn't work out too bad for the Pilots. They'll inbound it from the backcourt. Aji maneuvering left. Teams have been forcing him with that left-handed dribble. All the way down to Doway with a much smaller Ethan guarding. Tries to fade away. What a beauty. And that might be sealing the game. Not afraid to shoot it, but he has not hit in the second half. Running low on time, Kenny out to Doway, over to Aji, left wide open, and that's going to be the ball game, folks. Dreamers go on the road and hold the Pilots under 80 points, in fact. Of course, 72, 8 points off, but the goal of most teams is 90. Watch for a cosmetic score as Justin gets through right back, so maybe not so much. 8 points with 27 seconds and a timeout. Score table indicated it's the Dreamers who a little bit lackadaisical, but at least certainly in the driver's seat. But the Pilots really only have themselves to blame. They had a little bit of advantage going to the basket, but not pressing. In fact, only shooting 6 for 41 from 2-point range. There's some of the magic numbers. The Dreamers right now in a playoff spot have 4 games against the Pilots upcoming, and the Lioneers have 4 games against the Kings as their most opponent. And some of the strength of schedule, they're listed on the bottom. The Steelers, of course, with the lowest record winning percentage on the season, have the highest, most difficult strength of schedule. Meanwhile, followed by the Lioneers at 56% opponent winning percentage. Dreamers only 53.8% or .538. I'm pretty sure Eddie Zhang Yaozong got that from my spreadsheet. Happy to provide. But the numbers are really just for us to really speculate on, as really the most important number for the Dreamers or the Lioneers or the Steelers is to amass enough wins, as the Lioneers have the most games played at 28 games played. Meanwhile, the Steelers have a few more home games down the stretch, have 14 games left on their schedule. Lioneers have 12 games left, and the Dreamers, little Goldilocks magic there, have 13 games left on their schedule. Little pressure defense, great. Gilbeck can't get the pass off until now. Beating the shot clock and getting him the iron. 10 seconds left for the Pilots. And it's Doway with a foul. Might have poked Ethan in the eye. Doway has definitely got the penchant for very handsy fouls. With the clock counting down, Kenny Chen will be the one with the basketball. And there's the final buzzer. It's a final here in Taoyuan. 85 for the Dreamers, 77 for the Pilots. As though they were a very strong contender in the first half of the season, continue their second half or later skid through the schedule. We'll see who the Formosa television crew snag for the post-game player or coach interview, as the Dreamers accomplish their mission with only one game this week. Meanwhile, the Pilots take on the Steelers tomorrow. Have only scored 15 in the first quarter. Of course, the Pilots also only scored 17 in the fourth. Meanwhile, the Dreamers with 27 points in the third quarter in a strong bid against the Pilots, who are usually very good defensively in the third quarter, only allowing 19 points per third quarter. It's Aji Lin Junji, the player to interview, donning the headset. There's Aji.
你好，
Asked by our commentator colleague Eddie. Asked about the preparation coming into this
就是因为
afternoon.
上礼拜就是开局可能都没有打得很好，然后在这一个礼拜修正，然后就是在第一节就是教练有提醒我们一定要打得强势一点，这样后面就不会这么辛苦这样。
Aji saying that one important element is to play with some urgency and some proactiveness.
第二节的时候就是没有在第一节的时候，就是教练有讲说就提醒我会出手，因为有很多空档我就没有出手，然后就在第二节就大胆的出手，然后就连续投进这4颗这样。
Aji saying in the second quarter, nothing more than giving some opportunities and taking it with conviction. Now asked about going up against tough
有，因为
defenses.
在可能前几场就已经有这样的压迫，然后就是在练球的时候有跟教练讨论，然后还有看影片，就是在针对这些挡拆，就是有做比较多的修正，然后才可以赢下这场比赛。这样。
Aji saying they did a lot of video studies and they were prepared and they were successful in this encounter with the Pilots. Thank you for watching the broadcast. We have one more break before wrapping things up. the Pilots need to quickly recompose themselves as they have another matchup tomorrow here in Taoyuan against the Kaohsiung 1-7 Live Steelers. But we're wrapping things up in their game 80 of the Plus League regular season, a game between the Formosa Taishin Dreamers, who were victorious. They were led by Aji Ling Junji's 21 points. If you rather catch the end of the game in the player interview, able to hit 6 of 10 3-pointers. The rest of the team also were helping out with 10 made threes besides one number 11. In the end, the Dreamers a little bit behind in the rebounding category, as the Pilots did find a lot of second chance opportunities, but it didn't matter in the end as they were not as efficient, and they in fact also committed more turnovers on the game, which took away from their opportunities to get back ahead of the game. And in fact, if you look it up, the Dreamers led the individual quarter scoring in every single one of these 4 quarters. And so the Dreamers indeed played a little bit more composed and went along with their game plan just a little bit better. Meanwhile, the Pilots might have thought they might have had an advantage down low with so many fouls against the Dreamers during the game. They did go to the free throw line for a total of 20 individual free throw attempts, but only 13 of those converted. Jason Washburn was their top guy, 33 minutes played, 21 points, 19 rebounds. Well, they'll have to try to get that home victory on the weekend tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Kings and the Braves will be coming up just in about 18 or so minutes. Got to head to that stream if you're watching it on YouTube. Tomorrow, it's, as mentioned, the Steelers against the Pilots, and it's the Hsinchu Jieko Lioneers in Hoping Gymnasium against the Braves, also at 5 p.m. It's Aaron Yang-Lei and Eddie Zhang Yongzhong on the Mandarin broadcast. I've been Ryan Chen. Thank you for joining me on this afternoon's game. On behalf of the 6 teams in the league operations, we'll see you guys in the next one.